wincing in pain as they think about pulling that lever. So what you decide to do is your own business. But I have to tell you, there are choices. You can vote for the Green Party. You can vote for the Libertarian Party. And I know people will say, well, that's a vote for the other guy. But you know what? I can't sell my soul anymore to these parties because
let me ask you. All right.
So he can't sell his soul anymore to these other parties. And he tries to spin it like voting for someone else isn't a vote for Hillary, trying to manipulate people. I know folks that know Glenn Beck, okay? He scripts everything he says. He's the opposite of me. And I am so proud that he's the opposite of me. I am so proud that I am not. And listen, I have held my tongue on Glenn Beck for so long, but that guy has really sabotaged me. He's gotten in my business. And let me tell you something. I think good Lord above. I think my family. I think Matt Drudge. And also folks like George Norrie that have helped get the InfoWar over to the next level because they've helped me in my life. Because I'm not really a competitive guy. I'm not out to be the big guy. I'm not out to be the winner. But let me tell you, when somebody tries to ruin me and break me and shut me down and destroy me, I do savor it. I'll tell you. I absolutely savor and I enjoy. And anytime I'm down or I'm tired, I can think about all the people in my life, from the bullies when I was 10 years old, right through some of the people that fired me off radio because I was talking about Hillary and Bill, right through to people like Glenn Beck and everybody else. You're not going to shut me down, and I'm not backing down, and neither are the American people, and neither is Donald Trump, and neither is Matt Drudge. We're taking this country back. Stay with us. It is crazy to be here in Cleveland. It is amazing. I have had probably half the police we walk by say, Alex Jones, and give me thumbs up. I have had maybe 20% of the Secret Service wave at me or give me thumbs up. It is crazy. It is crazy. And again, that's got to freak the criminals, the globalists out, that Obama and Soros' attempt to start a civil war to intimidate the police into giving in to the globalist has absolutely backfired. Our news director, who has been working his butt off at a level I've never seen. He's such a hard worker. Rob Dew is here with us. We got Wayne Madsen from inside the RNC, where they're set to try to steal it again tomorrow night. I'm going to be going inside tonight and tomorrow, right through when Trump gets the nomination. We're going to be talking about those dirty tricks in the next segment. But I tell you, Dew, have you ever seen so many listeners, not just delegates that have come here or Republicans, the locals, especially the black folks? Yeah. I mean, it's so crazy that black folks love me so much. And then the media, and again, it's not about us, but it's a benchmark, it's a gauge. The media can spin the idea that it's us against them.
Alex, just a quick story. When I was shooting from the tripod position way in the back for your speech yesterday, and when I was packing stuff up, listeners of all types.
Wouldn't you say about a third of the people were black, though?
Oh, yeah. But and the black folks were coming up to me going, they knew who I was. They're like, Rob Dew, thank you. And they wanted to take pictures with me. I've never had that happen before with so many people in just one location. And they were all, some of them had shirts on, some of them didn't. But they were all like, oh, thank you for what you did.
But it wasn't just the rally. Really it's very humbling to have folks looking at you like you're going to save them. Look, I'm just like you. I'm fighting tyranny. You're just as powerful as I am.
People stop me in the streets. They know who I am. I met a guy last night, a California delegate at midnight, walking down the road. He goes, hey, you're with InfoWars. I said, yeah, hey, what happened today? Give me your take of what happened today. And he started talking. He's like, yeah.
That's right. It's not about us. We're only telling you because you aren't known. You're not a public figure, most of you. You don't get to understand how big the liberty movement is.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. I mean, I can barely walk down the street anywhere.
Yeah, no, you get mobbed. Like, it's on another level with you.
I want to go out and just show that. I want to show people that because we are the future. And this whole mainstream media is about making us feel like we're alone. They have these articles every day chastising Drudge for being associated with Trump and myself as he rises and they fall. And then Drudge links to it because he knows it's a joke. Yeah. I mean, these people just don't get it, man. Yeah, I tell you, we really are turning the tide.
We definitely are.
We got a long way to go, but we're turning it.
It is. And with the banner flights, that breaking through the mainstream media, we got the trucks going. I mean, it's all
that was
really
in hundreds of, of publications.
Yeah, everybody was talking about it. It was the only, because there was nothing else going on for 2 days. It was just people standing around going, ooh, oh my God, there's a ban. People are flying banners around.
And see, people ask, that ought to scare the globalists if InfoWars and Drudge, just websites, which tiny crews compared to the mainstream media can kick their butt. It's because you're pushing BS.
Well, and it's because we're not caught up in this giant hierarchy either. It's like, hey, we want to go do this, boom, we do it. We want to go do this, boom, we do it. There's no like, we just go where the action is. And that's the difference, I think, with a lot of these mainstream media. They're stuck in their one
Can you
little
believe
spot.
that they kept Ted Nugent from speaking here?
It's ridiculous. And they had the Duck Dynasty guy on last night. How is he any different from Ted Nugent? They had Scott Baio, Chachi. I mean, they're getting all these celebrities. What's wrong with Ted Nugent? He's,
because he's too good.
Yeah.
And again, that's not Trump's fault. It's not Trump's people. It's the RNC.
Of course. That's all. Anytime we run into and it's funny when you meet an InfoWars person who's a delegate, they have a different mindset than one of these RNC people who are just oblivious to like what's going on in the real world.
Well, I mean, I flew up here with a bunch of delegates that were with Karl Rove, and he had them bringing them on the plane. They were like literally bugging their eyes out like they wanted to kill me.
Call him by his real name.
Turd Blossom.
Yeah.
I mean, they were really, and that's why I said, that's it. I'm getting off the plane. I'm really confronting him now. The gloves are off, man.
That face when he turns and looks at you, it's like this Dan Aykroyd movie. I think it's called Nothing But Trouble. He looked exactly like that guy from Central Casting, just big and pustule and just, and he had no soul in his eyes. He looked like he was it was somebody else inside.
Well, this is the guy that sabotages the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And he's done.
Oh, yeah. He's a footnote at this point.
All right, I'm going to come back, but I want you to ride shotgun with me a little bit because we've got Wayne Madsen and the rest of the crew inside. In fact, we give people a video shot of their TV viewers. Infowars.com/show. I skipped a break last hour. I didn't plug last hour. We need folks to go to InfoWarsStore.com and the videos, the books, the nutraceuticals. That's how we find. And here we are above the RNC, above the conference center where they are meeting. And I've got Rob Dew, our news director, sitting right beside me. A lot of amazing things going on. I do intend at the bottom of the hour to open the phones up for everybody. There is a key report up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com from Wayne Madsen. And I've asked Paul Watson to actually write an article about this. It's really a big deal. Now, this isn't about tooting my horn, but I want folks to realize I know what I'm talking about. When the Republicans a few months ago said, okay, we're not going to challenge Trump anymore for the nomination, I said, guaranteed, I know Glenn Beck, and I know the other carpetbagger that's down in Texas. I mean, I'm nothing against Northerners that come south. I love folks, but a carpetbagger comes down here to take advantage of Texans, take advantage of our looks, our cowboy hats, our culture, people thinking that, that you can, quote, trust a Texan. Well, if you can find a real one, yeah, you can. Handshake deal, because you break it, they'll come after you. But we're talking about Ted Cruz, the Canadian. Sure enough, they tried to overthrow the votes, force it down, take the votes, and try to install Ted Cruz. That failed yesterday. Now, the word is, and Wayne Madsen, investigative journalist, former head of a major security division of the National Security Agency, first major NSA whistleblower 20 years ago, he was on the ground with Kit Daniels and our crew, and he's there right now with Josh Owens, inside the Quicken Loans Center, and he discovered they're planning Wednesday night after Ted Cruz speaks to try to walk out. Donald Trump doesn't need to send his people in to talk to the Cruz former delegates and say, please don't do this. Follow your pledge and follow the popular vote. He needs to tell Ted Cruz, we're just going to take you off the speaking slot, you bastard, because I've had enough of this, okay? And it makes me sick that I ever halfway supported Ted Cruz. Enough dirty tricks. I mean, Glenn Beck is on Meet the Press and other shows saying vote for Hillary. I cannot handle this anymore. Listen, the bad Donald Trump, if you believe the worst stuff about him, he's 50 times better than Hillary. The guy's got courage. He's got honor. He loves America. He wants to have better trade deals. He's pro-Second Amendment. He's pro-family. And then he's even liberal on some subjects that I'm somewhat liberal on. I'm a libertarian. Leave people alone in their bedrooms. He's a great candidate, and he's a unifier. He's from the North, where America started. And it's just exciting to see him bringing America together as a great unifier. If they let him in, he'll be the new Ronald Reagan, and I think more so. And I'm so excited about it. Listen, Wayne Madsen is somebody I'd call a famous journalist. I would call him kind of a classical liberal, libertarian liberal. He's been supporting Trump. I think of a time I've seen him support a Republican. He's kind of not really supported Democrats either, but I don't want to speak for him. But before we get into what happened last night, what's coming up tomorrow night that we're breaking here, Wayne Madsen inside the convention center for TV viewers, Infowars.com/show. Radio listeners can go find the feed right there. But this will also be archived later today. Let's first talk about you transformatively. Am I speaking for you, or do you support Trump? And then why are you supporting him? And then what happened last night? What's happening tomorrow?
Well, Alex, what has happened here so far is yesterday there was an attempt to have the rules altered to go for a full roll call vote, and that failed. That was being pushed primarily by Senator Mike Lee, a Cruz delegate from Utah, and the former Attorney General of Virginia, Ken Cuccinelli. That, as I said, that failed because the chair, Reince Priebus, said you have to have a certain number of states and a certain number of signatures to go for a full roll call vote. The Cruz people said, no, they cried foul. They said, look, this is a ruling that, you know, they used the word thugs describing the RNC. They weren't happy. Now, last night, what I discovered was from a senior delegate from Tennessee, who's a Trump delegate, said, look, there's a rumor that the Cruz people will stage a walkout after Ted Cruz's speech tomorrow evening. We spoke to the Texas Cruz people. They said, look, we're hoping to vote for our person Cruz, but then when Trump gets the nomination, we will support Trump. Now, what's going to happen tonight after the gavel goes down is we're going to have the nomination process for president and then for vice president, but they're going to start the roll call with Alabama, and it goes in alphabetical order. And at some point in time, and this is a very unconventional convention, but usually the presidential candidate's home state moves for nomination by acclamation. So they don't go through the entire roll call. This is what the Cruz people wanted. They wanted the chance for Texas, which is at the end of the alphabet, to be able to vote along with Utah. Excuse me. So I would say that at some point in time during the roll call, my suspicion is the New York, which is Trump's home state, their delegation chair will move for acclamation, so it won't go to further states.
Now, Wayne, let me throw this in at you.
I got something to add to that, too.
Absolutely. Again, Rob Dew here with us, InfoWars News Director. Let me ask you this question. Clearly, this is about just sabotaging Trump, making it look like he's not even supported by his own party to damage him and support Hillary. I mean, I cannot believe these Republicans, after their attempt to claim that they were superdelegates and that votes didn't count, they were repudiated, they had to back off. This is very traitorous, very treacherous, very dishonorable. Do these people have any idea how dirty this is, A, and then B, you know, clearly this is going to blow up in their face, and it's not going to succeed. And then how are they going to feel when Hillary gets elected?
Well, I mean, I don't think many of the people here would vote for Hillary Clinton. This is a fairly...
Then why are they trying to sabotage Trump? Because, I mean, nobody else is going to get it.
Right. They've tried to do that, but I think when it comes down to November, we're talking about a Republican, at least the ones represented here, Republicans. I don't think many will sit at home and like want to sacrifice their vote if they think that Hillary Clinton could be elected president. There may be some, certainly. We don't even have the governor of Ohio here, and they spent $54 million to get this convention in Cleveland. And they're not going to make that back by hot dog sales from the concourse here. You don't have Kasich here. He's in Cleveland, but he's attending side meetings. And
that's another reason I'm supporting Trump. You have all the old, disgusting rhinos, the Bushes, the old establishment, just like the Clintons, fighting with everything they've got. It's a no-brainer. Let me ask you this. I know you don't want to get into your own personal views, but I've seen you on air. I mean, you've. What is your real view of Trump? I mean, you know, you're here obviously exposing the fact you're trying to take him out. What is your view of this general election? What's your view of Trump?
Well, I think what we see with Trump and on the other side, Bernie Sanders, is there is anger across the country. Nobody will deny that fact. And, you can sense the anger here amongst a lot of the delegates. I've spoken to them. They don't like the way the country has gone for the last 8 years under Barack Obama, and they look at Hillary as just a continuation of the Obama administration. Some actually believe she might be worse. So I think what we're seeing is the anger playing out. And I think we're going to see the same attempt in Philadelphia by Sanders people to do exactly what the Cruz people did here, to try to say, even though Trump, of course, was not the favorite of the Republican establishment, So this is, as I've written, anyone who has the old rule book, political rule book from the last century needs to throw it away. It doesn't work anymore.
That's right.